Tuesday, March 14th, 2023 at 2:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Journaling. Yesterday, I read previous journals and letters written to myself. I stopped at December 2021 because it was getting late. It was 3:33 a.m. Eastern Standard when I stopped. I am so over the moon at my strength and the amount of resilience early on my journey. The amount of love that I had inside, even though I was going through so much pain, was interesting and amazing to see at the same time. I am beyond proud of myself at just how far I've come since August 13th, 2021. It has been a bumpy ride and a roller coaster, to say the least, just from what I read so far, looking into who I am and the perspectives and perceptions I hold today. I am super excited to read more. It's beautiful, powerful, and fulfilling, really. How I am feeling in this moment. Ugh. How am I feeling in this moment? I feel wonderful, and like I am getting more and more enlightened as the minutes, hours, and days go by. So I started work again, working at the Dollar General here at my corner here in Georgia. I started on March 5th, 2023, and oh my God, let's just say I've already put in my 2 weeks notice yesterday. And this morning, I went even further as to messaging the store manager, Jennifer, to advise that this Friday, March 17th, 2023, will be my last day. The people who work there are beautiful people and extremely hard workers. I was just struggling in terms of my body swelling up and my poor feet going through it. It also took a toll on me because in the state of Georgia, they do not have to give any breaks or paid breaks if the employer doesn't want to, which is bananas. In the state of Illinois, employers gave us breaks within 2 hours, 2.5 hours of your shift. Here, I am getting my first break after working 4.5 hours, and it was unpaid each time. I was scheduled 7-hour shifts. I applied for part-time and was receiving a 30-minute break off the clock. I did work an 8.5-hour shift my second day on the job, picking up a few more hours, and I received 1 hour long unpaid lunch. And that was it. The wear and tear was not fun. However, what was fun was interacting with the customers, shining my God-given light and spreading my loving energy with anyone who was around me. I had a blast with that, and I did make the best out of my days by staying positive, optimistic, and in flow. Today and tomorrow, I am off, and I go back in for Thursday and my last day of work for Friday, March 17th, 2023, leaving at 10:30 p.m. Another thing that was getting to me was the fact that my clock out times were being scaled back by minutes to either be clocked out at the 0 o'clock or by the 5th o'clock. Okay, essentially skimming me out of minutes over that I actually was working. Too much, too early. Plus, it all held a deeper meaning to me. Now everything is seen from the lenses of unconditional love for me. Last night, I received a download from Spirit. Self-love and self-care is my job and duty, and God is my sponsor. In the words of Maji Got the Tea, Tarot from YouTube, shout out to you, boo. If you listening, I freaking love you. God hired me. Who gonna fire me? Okay? That is Maji Got the Tea's quote. God hired me. Who gonna fire me? Oh, God, I love her. Moving forward. I digress. It's true. The only reason why I got the job to begin with is because of my mother. Yes, it's the pressure I feel coming from her to help her with these bills, and also just to do something with my life. But moreover, it had to do with a part of me that still wasn't trying to let go all the way. Still with the 1 foot in and 1 foot out. 1 foot here creating my future, being in the present, and 1 foot still planted in my past, not wanting to fully leave it behind. I understand this now because I have done the work already, and I am constantly reminded by my spiritual team and ancestors of this. I know now that if I am being completely honest, it has to deal with me holding on to my mother, not wanting to leave her on an energetic level. Now I understand what the phrase means fully. Everyone cannot come with you. Also, you are not for everyone. The level of consciousness that I am in, including the person that I now know I am, simply cannot thrive here. I simply cannot be here any longer. Here is in the in-between worlds, as most tarot readers call it. I have literally had a death many times over, and have now had my rebirth into someone who is guided by my soul. Someone who is in tune with my inner being intelligence, following my intuition and heart now. Someone who dreams and flows with life, understanding life cycles, transmutation, energy, universal laws, source energy, unconditional love, and so much more. Me hanging on to old energies and energies I no longer resonate with is what's holding me back from my harvest and my karmic justice that's owed to me from the energy healing and shadow work I've done on myself. Hard work does pay off, but there's nothing like bravery paying off, humility paying off, resilience paying off, resistance of quick and easy pleasures paying off. There's nothing like the payout you get from the universe when you face your fears head on. Nothing like it. Sure, hard work never goes unnoticed. Sure, hard work pays off, but I had to evaluate these things, like at what cost though to me in return? What has helped me see everything so clear, and what will continue to allow me to come into the realizations I need for clarity is seeing through unconditional love to myself first. I noticed quickly, working at Dollar General, that I was only working there because it would make my mother happy. I tried convincing myself, aka my ego did, that I needed to be humble and just start working where I can for now. Trying to convince myself that I need the money, like right now or else. Sure, I have my car outside that needs some work done. And yep, it's on E, the story of my life for most of my life, LOL. Sure, I have my 13-year-old daughter that's also being housed here that is my responsibility to take care of. Sure, I have $0 and no checking, no savings, or anything and haven't since September of 2021. Sure, I have built a business from the ground up and had been working on it since leaving my last employer. So I better listen to my mother and feel the fact of this particular situation I am in. Okay. So yes, I applied and here I am. But the fact of this particular situation is not seen in the same way as I see it versus my mom. And to be fair, most people in the world, let's just be honest. That's how most people would see my situation on the surface level for exactly what it looks like. But I don't feel the same way or see it in the same light. And this is okay too. There's no right or wrong way. There's only my way or the highway. LOL. I no longer walk by sight or mind. Damn, I never thought I'd use those words. And honestly, I never knew what that meant. I walk by faith and what I feel to be true, regardless of what my external life is currently showing me. I know I've been working. May not have been for money or material gain, may not have been a 9-to-5 job, but I've been doing so much work on myself in becoming someone who just wants peace, no matter what I am doing or any situations that come into my life. No longer hiding, no more distractions, no more numbing, no more self-sabotage, no more needing validation or needing acceptance. I've been changing my personal beliefs, finding my self-worth, aligning with what I personally value, finding out what my personal values are, just living by my own accord and doing things that ultimately makes me feel happy, feel good, loving, and fulfilled. No more stretching myself thin, living in a way that others can be happy with themselves around me. No longer wanting to, I want to say that again, excuse me. No more stretching myself thin, living in a way that others can be happy with themselves around me. No longer wanting to prove myself to others by overexerting myself, trying to impress people or family. I don't need to have the biggest house or the fanciest cars or the better job in order to be happy and proud of myself. I don't need those things to be worthy of the highest levels of love, unconditional love in any condition I am in at any given time or moment. I believe everyone deserves bare minimum unconditional love, whether we are around you or not, a loner or not, rich or not, happy or not. I can go on and on. I like to keep in mind that we are all a piece of God, and it's up to us to bring this into our awareness. The universe and angels are constantly communicating to us. We just have to pause to listen for it. Excuse me. God wants us to recognize this, that we are liquid love, liquid lavu, that we are infinite beings of limitless possibilities. I also keep in mind that if God can see our innocence and forgive us for our sins, then so can I whenever people behave the way that they do. I now mind my own business. I seek joy and happiness in life. I choose to feed myself love, joy, peace, and happiness because I am in charge of my will, not God. God gives me free will so I can learn and master myself and ascend closer and closer to Him. God purposefully and masterfully gave us free will so our souls can grow wise and be filled with more and more capacity to love, thus being of service. God wants us to align our will with His. These are things that helps me in seeing as clearly as possible, even when there's fog. The more love I possess and sensitivity I hold, the more I can feel through the fog and make it to where I need to be at all times, almost seamlessly. I'll say that one more time. The more love I possess and sensitivity I hold, the more I can feel through the fog and make it to where I need to be at all times, almost seamlessly. Again, not walking by sight or mind, but by faith. How do I see myself at this time? What am I being guided to do now? Where am I going? I see myself as a highly evolved soul and human being, someone who has a lot of wisdom and yet still knows nothing compared to the wisdom God can offer me. Someone who now is guided to listen more than I speak. I know I have to get better at listening more than I speak. I am being guided to pour into my cup until it's overflowing. I've done the work. I have done the work it takes to now have and embody the highest level of peace within, prosperity, wealth, and serenity. In fact, going deeper into my download I had the other day, my spirit team brought to mind the fact that I've always had my harvest and I've always possessed everything I've ever wanted and desired in life. Material objects, financial gain, the peace, the happy family and friends, anything I've ever wanted by thinking about it and feeling it. It's always been obtainable because it's already mine. I just needed to get to this level of awareness and allow this realization to seep in. I've always heard things like what you feel internally will be reflected externally. Things like if you ask, it is given. What you seek seeks you back. Now, it had seeped in deep the other day during my download in the middle of the night. Actually, this was last night. And now that I know I possess the qualities I want to have and the possibilities I want to make possible for me and the material objects, including money that I've always wanted, it feels spectacular. So I have been moving backwards, basically. There's another saying within the tarot and oracle readings I was participating in during my healing. They would say that we hold the universe inside of us. Now I get that too. As long as I take care of my internal being, it will reflect and have no choice but to reflect on my outer being and my surroundings, as well as this being one of the universal laws. I also get how we have the universe inside of us and how we are interconnected and connected in general to all things. It's because we are all a piece of God, living as one through His image and omnipresence. We are connected to the past, present, and future simply by being made up of majority water. I want to go back. Hold on. It's because we are all a piece of God, a piece of source energy, as everything carries energy within it, even objects. We are connected to the past, present, and future simply by being made up of majority water. Water actually holds memory in it. And we know energy never dies. It just gets transferred into something else. I literally have been guided and still am, as long as I am willing to listen and have faith, to change my energy level, to vibrate at a level that whatever I want can come into my existence. It's because I've changed my inner world. We are all so powerful just having a piece of God in us that we are all capable of transmuting fears into pure love, thus changing our inner beings to give direct reflection onto our outer world. By doing this, we can literally be an energy vibration that is felt from miles away. When we then have the ability to change people's moods, state of being, thoughts, and all, just being in their vicinity. So right now, I am guided and told to let go and surrender the need to control even more than I have. It's getting much, much easier to do this. And at the same time, I still can see with these pair of eyes God has given me to see with here in the third dimension. The more I let go of control, needing to know all the details before I move, and the fear of the unknown, the further away I am being taken from the reality of what my eyes can see into more of what feels right, what makes me happy, what feels so peaceful and free to me. Literally flowing on the path of least resistance towards what my heart and soul is calling, in opposition to what my eyes are seeing right now. Faith is a requirement for this path. Unbiased judgment is required for this path I am on. Unconditional love is required for this path that I am on. Not having fear of the unknown is a requirement for the path that I am on. I am on the path of living as my higher self and a being of service to God, which is embodying unconditional love to myself first, then onto others. One thing that I am so proud of myself about, before I answer the last question, which is, where am I going? LOL. I am proud of myself that I can admit when I was wrong, and when I am wrong, and make necessary corrections to educate myself and revert back to seeing through the lenses of unconditional love. I had a problem when it came to racism in this world for a long time. I had a problem with religions and churches for a long time in this world. I had problems even with governments for a while in this world. I realized at some point, and even right now, that we are all ignorant to something we don't know both sides of or the full background history of. And even then, we may not be looking through the lenses of unconditional love. And if there's love there at all, it's mostly conditional until we can get unignorant, aka start seeing that problem or trigger through the lenses of unconditional love. I simply now see my ignorance in those situations. I still cannot like the feeling I have with some of those things. It's just now I don't blame, point the finger, or choose to be a victim in rage. When you begin to live your life as you are in your full bliss with your flaws and all, and choose to no longer be a victim of situations and circumstances, that's when you truly get to become wise and in flow with whatever life throws at you. Now, I will go through things, but they won't feel as heavy because I will know how to feel them through to the end and process it instead of shaming it away. God has taught me to squeeze the wisdom and knowledge out of anything simply by seeing through the lenses of unconditional love. Where am I going? I am co-creating my life with the divine, and I don't know where I am going. And it feels good. And it feels so good. I know God would never put too much on me that I could not handle. And as long as I follow unconditional love unto myself first, then unto others, I will follow my path of adventure, joy, optimism, peace, and a gratitude for life.